welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 20 best animated features of the 21st century so far.
So I'm Spider-Man. I'm not the only one.
Beware of some spoilers as we highlight these masterpieces. Number 20, Encanto.
Am I too late for a miracle?
While most of the members of Mirabel's family were granted magical gifts that they used to help others, she was never given any special abilities. Although that fact made her feel alone at times, the heroine was still willing to risk everything to prevent her loved ones from losing their talents. The compelling family drama enchanted audiences with its vibrant story and ridiculously catchy songs.
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
It also tackled issues such as generational trauma with skill and care. Although Encanto didn't get much fanfare at first, it took the world by storm once it hit streaming. And since the story earned an Academy Award, it's safe to say the world recognized that this film was a gift.
You're the real gift, kid. Let us in.
Number 19, The Lego Movie. When the ordinary Emmett first stumbled onto an item that could stop a big bad, it didn't seem like he had what it took to save the day. But it soon became clear that his optimism and earnestness were just what the world needed. Emmett stars in a story that has slick visuals that were made to look like stop-motion animation. Not only does the style help the film stand out, but it paves the way for a wide variety of visual gags and witty jokes.
Oh no, this is Middle Zealand, a wondrous land full of knights, castles, mutton, torture weapons, poverty, leeches, illiteracy, and
The Lego Movie's inclusion of characters from tons of different franchises also made the world feel big and beautiful. At the end of the day, the film built a fan base upon its great humor and truly unique look.
What the heck is this?
I am a master builder!
Number 18, Song of the Sea. Within the first few moments of this underrated feature, audiences are pulled in by beautiful hand-drawn animation. Beyond the bright visuals, viewers are taken into an engrossing story where a family fractured by grief is thrown in the middle of a mythological conflict. Their only chance to become whole again lies at the end of a magical adventure. Throughout the tale, the protagonist introduced audiences to important figures in Irish folklore.
Now, if someone said that they could take that pain away, would you let them?
I suppose.
During each encounter, the young heroes are encouraged to lean on others and not to run away from their emotions. When that powerful message is combined with a beautiful animation and captivating mythological characters, you get a song of the sea that is worthy of being listened to.
Enter here, sitter her.
Number 17, The Breadwinner. This gripping story wastes no time in showing us the difficulties a young girl experiences while growing up in Afghanistan under the Taliban.
Hello? How much for 6 apples, please?
Salam, child. I can't serve you.
Parvana's life only becomes more challenging after her father is imprisoned. Unable to operate freely in society as herself, she pretends to be a boy to earn enough money to support her family and see her father again. The heavy story features intense and brutally realistic scenes, but it also slows down once in a while to emphasize how beautiful stories can bring light to the darkest of places. Ultimately, Parvana's story of perseverance inspires just as much as it informs. Although it's not the easiest film to watch, it's a story that demands to be told.
We are a fractured land in the claws of the Hindu Kush mountains, scorched by the fiery eyes of the northern deserts.
Number 16, Moana.
One day I'll know how far I'll go.
In 2016, Zootopia told a heartwarming story that encouraged viewers not to judge anyone by outside appearances. It was followed by a compelling adventure where protagonist Moana must journey across the ocean to save everyone on her island. During her adventure, we're treated to powerful songs that hit as hard as tidal waves. When we're not being blown away by music, we're getting invested in Moana's rocky relationship with the demigod Maui. Their forced partnership pushes both characters to grow from immature heroes to warriors worth rooting for. And their evolution leads to a beautiful conclusion that leaves you crying and cheering. In a 2016 full of great animated features, Moana's tale stood out for having plenty of heart.
This is not who you are.
Number 15. Frozen. Unless you've been stuck in a block of ice since 2012, it's safe to say you've at least heard this modern Disney classic's most famous song.
Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky.
As Let It Go became immensely popular outside theaters, the film became the 5th highest grossing movie of all time at the worldwide box office. A big part of its success was how it put a refreshing twist on Disney's formula. Instead of being a damsel in distress, Princess Elsa's a powerful royal who accidentally causes an eternal winter. While she'd usually be rescued by a dashing prince, her sister Anna is the one who steps up to save the day. Frozen's clever departures from studio norms, memorable characters, and unavoidable songs all made it a pop culture phenomenon.
You sacrificed yourself for me? I love you.
Number 14. Coraline.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have
buttons? Do you like them? I'm your other mother, silly.
The gorgeous and heartbreaking Kubo and the Two Strings is unquestionably one of Laika's best stop-motion efforts. But if we're talking about their most beloved film, we've got to tell you a story about Coraline. This offbeat tale follows a headstrong girl who escapes from an unsatisfying life by traveling to another world. Once it becomes clear that the fantasy land she found is actually a nightmare, Coraline must outwit a sinister villain to save her soul. The film's striking and at times terrifying imagery made it feel more mature. However, Coraline's story is not only perfect for all ages, but it also has great lessons about responsibility and selflessness. Last but not least, the stop-motion animation enhances every frame of this unconventional marvel.
I'm Coraline Jones. I've got so much to tell you.
Number 13. Klouse. During this wonderfully original holiday tale, a spoiled postman named Jesper must get a village to send thousands of letters in order to secure his inheritance. The desperate protagonist eventually convinces a man named Klouse to give away toys to local children who write letters.
Mr. Klouse, sir, those little children, if you donate your old toys to them, well, I'll gladly deliver them for free.
While Jesper only planned to help himself, he ended up improving the lives of the villagers he tried to scheme. This hilarious and heartwarming plot puts a great spin on the traditional Christmas story people are familiar with. On top of that, the film is full of fleshed out characters who have complex backstories and arcs. By fully committing to its original premise and great cast, Klouse positioned itself as a new Christmas classic.
What happened to him after that? How? Why? I can't even begin to comprehend.
Number 12. Chicken Run. Admittedly, a group of anthropomorphic chickens mounting a prison break is a pretty weird pitch for a family trip to the theater. And yet, that same kookiness is exactly why Chicken Run sprints past the finish line with ease. The slapstick humor just never gets old, especially when delivered by this outstanding voice cast. But, impressively, its story hasn't gone cold either. If anything, the social commentary is fresher now than when it first came out of the fryer in 2000.
So laying eggs all your life and then getting plucked, stuffed and roasted is good enough for you, is it?
It's a living.
Story aside, this is practically required viewing for its technical merits alone. Chicken Run's impeccable use of claymation clucked a path to become the highest grossing animated stop-motion film of all time. Those kinds of achievements speak for themselves.
Grass. Exactly, grass. It's always greener on the other side.
After crafting that gem, Aardman Animation's films continued to impress, with marvels like Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
This is absolutely fantastic.
Number 11. Persepolis.
Oh, this must be Marjan. You sure have grown. When they arrested me, you were just a baby. Look at you now. You're practically a young lady.
Author Marjan Satrapi gave us an unflinching look at what it was like to grow up before and after the Iranian Revolution in this animated epic. As the world changed around her, she was constantly forced to adapt to survive. Although Marjan endured plenty of painful setbacks, she always found the strength to get back up and keep moving forward. This daring film was unafraid to switch from realistic to exaggerated animated styles to make sharp points. The movie also didn't shy away from dark and heavy events. Admittedly, it wasn't always easy to look through Marjan's eyes. but viewers who are willing to do so will gain a whole new perspective.
Fear is what lulls our mind to sleep and makes us lose our conscience. Fear is also what turns us into cowards. But what you did took courage. I'm so proud of you.
Number 10. Inside Out. Although Riley's head was home to 5 distinct feelings, Joy thought that the entire group should prioritize keeping the girl happy above all. But the bright emotion had to rethink her worldview when sadness became part of one of the kids' core memories. This layered premise launched an adventure where there was no big villain or evil plot. Instead, the story was solely invested in showing that accepting a wide range of emotions is the key to a balanced life.
Mom and Dad, the team, they came to help because of sadness.
That vital message lies at the beating heart of the imaginative world within Riley's head. Inside Out's story is an emotional roller coaster that has the power to move audiences closer to embracing their own feelings.
Sadness? I can't, Joy.
Yes, you can. Riley needs you.
Number 9. How to Train Your Dragon 2.
This is what it is to be a dragon, Hiccup.
It's all well and good to call yourself a dragon, but can you fly?
DreamWorks made our hearts soar when they released the first entry in this draconic fantasy series. 4 years after introducing Hiccup and his dragon Toothless to the world, we return to the village of Berk for an even more ambitious adventure. The sequel pits Hiccup and Toothless against a ruthless villain who wishes to use dragons as tools of war. Their quest is full of blissful highs, shocking twists, and crushing lows. Every triumph and setback is rendered with gorgeous and fluid 3D animation. And while lots of new elements are added, the film never forgets to keep deepening the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless. This sublime sequel confirmed that How to Train Your Dragon could soar as one of the century's best franchises.
The chief has come home!
Number 8. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Everything changes for a courageous cat once he realizes that he only has one life left. Although Puss makes a hilarious attempt to live without risk, he's eventually pulled into the adventure that could be his last. His ambitious story is complemented by a unique animation style. The bold visuals make the introspective scenes feel every bit as dynamic as the fight sequences. While the film style is impressive on its own, the movie's best quality is its ability to explore serious issues with humor and heart.
Thank you, Perrito.
What's going on with you, Puss?
I am down to my last life.
The scene where Puss is completely overcome with anxiety in particular struck a chord with viewers. It was surprising that a kids' movie that seemed to be about death turned out to be a vibrant celebration of life.
What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
No, just one. I'm done running.
Number 7. The Incredibles. If everyone's super, no one is. But somehow, the Parr family continues to stand out as a downright heroic example of the genre at its best. Mostly because, beneath the spandex, it's not really about crime fighting at all. Instead, it authentically explores a midlife crisis inside a traditional nuclear family. Well, traditional, except for the fact that they can actually go nuclear. Yeah, to put it lightly, those fight scenes are totally wicked.
That was totally wicked!
Alongside the fantastic music, nuanced character arcs, and the scene-stealing Edna mode, this film's legacy has stretched on long enough to make even Elastigirl jealous. It's safe to say that The Incredibles is more than incredible.
I don't know what will happen.
Hey, we're superheroes. What can happen?
Number 6. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
How long will I go? Is it far? No one knows, no one can tell.
This Pinocchio tale immediately caught our eyes with intricate stop-motion animation. It also took huge risks by remixing elements of the familiar story and setting it during World War I. But what truly sets this Pinocchio story apart is its character work. Geppetto is a flawed inventor whose fear of loss prevents him from appreciating life. Instead of being an all-knowing force of good, Sebastian Cricket is making it up as he goes along. And while many Pinocchios aim to become real, This version is happy to embrace the world just as he is. Guillermo del Toro's willingness to take so many risks led to the creation of one of the greatest animated adaptations ever.
Pinocchio!
Pinocchio.
Number 5. Shrek. At first glance, this fairy tale retelling follows the formula to a T. Storm the castle, slay the dragon, get the girl. Except, that's only half the story. Perhaps the biggest revision is that Shrek himself is no Prince Charming. Like, at all.
Wait, listen. You think that Shrek is your true love?
Well, yes.
You think Shrek is your true love?
So instead of following the trend, this brilliant deconstruction reinvents the formula without ever fully abandoning it. It's a tour de force of creativity and wit, all pulled together by an endlessly quotable script and some career-defining voice work. Much like Ogres and Onions, there's a lot of layers to Shrek. Like, for example, some instantly iconic musical numbers. Though, Shrek 2 definitely takes the cake on that one.
Hit it!
All right, big fella, let's crash this party.
Number 4. Your Name.
In our dreams, that guy and I...
That we're... In our dreams, that girl and I... We're switching places?
In this body swap film, a small town girl starts randomly switching bodies with a boy from the city. Their struggles to maintain each other's lives led to plenty of laugh-out-loud scenes. However, just when audiences think the story is just a strange slice-of-life comedy, a huge comet is dropped in the middle of the plot that completely changes the tone and genre. The huge risk is just one of the reasons Your Name became one of Japan's highest-grossing films of all time. The movie also features incredible animation, a sweeping romance, and a heart-pounding climax that will leave you breathless until the very last second. Your Name unquestionably needs to be called out as a spectacular animated feature.
I came all this way to see you, which wasn't easy, since you were pretty far away.
Number 3. Toy Story 3.
I have a kid. You have a kid. Andy. And if he wants us at college or in the attic, well, then our job is to be there for him.
Pixar ruled the late 2000s with the delicious Ratatouille, the awe-inspiring Wall-E, and the emotional Up. These certified classics led up to the studio's 21st century magnum opus, Toy Story 3. During this sequel, Woody and his fellow toys must figure out where they belong when their old friend Andy gets ready to leave for college. The movie dazzles us with great visuals as we explore this deep question. Additionally, it strikes a perfect balance between silly humor and grounded drama. But most importantly, the story says it's okay to take a new path that may lead you away from loved ones. Pixar's masterpiece reminds us that no matter what happens, we never have to let go of the memories of our dearest friends.
He'll be there for you, no matter what. You think you can take care of him for me?
Number 2. Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. Miles Morales knows better than anyone that with great power comes great responsibility. So both he and the movie overall took some major leaps of faith. And by doing so, they found the man inside of Spider-Man.
That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger?
Sure, the action's top-notch and the animation is legit stunning, but it's really Miles' personal growth that saves the day. He's no Peter Parker, and he's no Gwen Stacy, but that's more than okay. The multiversal shenanigans prove that Miles can still become the hero he never thought he could be. His final confrontation with Kingpin works specifically because it culminates the journey of a kid who just so happened to get spider powers. That story is arguably the film's greatest strength.
You ever hear the shoulder touch?
What?
Hey.
Before we highlight our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Kung Fu Panda, an energetic and heartwarming tale about shaking up the status quo.
You're just a big, fat panda.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, This clever story is bursting with quirky humor and great performances.
You know who could do this part easily is Christopherson. That kid's like a professional Olympic level.
Why don't we run that way? There's no obstacles.
Yeah, that's better.
Coco. We'll always remember the story of a musical dream that united a family.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye.
Anomalisa. This boundary-pushing marvel is more than just another face in the animated crowd.
Everyone is one person but you and me. You're the only other person in the world.
Really?
Big Hero 6. A satisfying superhero story that breaks your heart before putting it together again.
No! I can't lose you two.
Hero, I will always be with you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Spirited Away.
I want you to know my real name. It's Chihiro.
Chihiro, what a pretty name. You take good care of it.
I will.
There's simply nothing that matches the riveting combination of wonder and fear conveyed in Hayao Miyazaki's anime spectacle. The way it brilliantly takes advantage of the visual medium turns it into less of a film and more of a work of art. After all, the gorgeous visuals often look like a moving talking canvas brought to life. That flawless aesthetic helps the fluid story communicate the coming-of-age experience in a way nothing else ever has.
Once you've met someone, you never really forget them. It just takes a while for your memories to return.
It's by and large Miyazaki's magnum opus, if not the pinnacle of the entire industry to date. Spirited Away is more than a great movie. It's a pure masterpiece, plain and simple. What's your favorite 21st century animated movie? Let us know in the comments.
So long, partner.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.